Hey there, I am going to show you today how to do the Bullion stitch, which is a new one to me as well, that I have just used in my Ice Cream Dream embroidery piece. I love how it turned out. It's these little yellow stitches here. I feel like it will be one that I incorporate into a lot more pieces, so here is a quick video on how it's done. So I'm going to start just with a basic stem here, and then I will work my stitches. I may not work them quite as long as I drew on there. I will see once I get going here. So with this stitch, after practicing and playing with it a little bit, I have realized that the more strands of yarn you use, the more kind of chunky a look you will get. So if you want them to be quite dainty and delicate, you may want to divide your floss into maybe 3 strands or 4 strands. I'm going to use all 6 for the tutorial here. These ones did use all 6. And I'm also going to use a slightly larger needle. So you could use just your regular embroidery needle, but I'm going to use, I have some darning needles that are not really thick comparatively, but they have just a little bit more thickness to them. So I'm going to use one of those today just to show you how this is done, but do feel free to try it with whatever needle you have handy. Okay, so I'm going to start by just tying one end of my floss here. So I just did a double knot. And now what I'm going to do, these ones, you start them at, oh my goodness, you start at the tip. No, you start at the base. And then you go down through the tip. And then you come back up through the base, right through that same spot there. And what you're going to do here is you're actually just going to take that working yarn that we didn't pull all the way through, and you're going to wrap it around your needle multiple times. So I wrap it and then I kind of push it down a little bit, wrap it, wrap it, and push it down. And we want the wraps to be about the same length as our stitch will be. So now I think I've wrapped it enough times, so I'm going to kind of hold on to the part I had wrapped and pull my thread through there. You can kind of see it's starting to take form. They can be a little sloppy at first, so just be patient with yourself. Give it a pull. And then I feel like that's a little tight at the end, so I'm trying to just even out my floss a little bit. And then once you're happy with it, you take your needle and come down through that same spot again. And that gives you that raised look there. So let's do it another time here to show you again. So through the base, and then to the tip. And again, don't pull that all the way through. And then back through the base. And you know, I actually am not 100% sure. I haven't played with it too much to find out if wrapping it one way or another is necessary. I think you can just kind of wrap it whichever way you feel comfortable. You do want to get your wraps fairly even though, because I am finding right here, if I'm not pulling on it in a consistent way, my end flower doesn't end up looking quite as, doesn't have as much volume as I would like it to have. So feel free to play with that. And you know what, if you don't like them, again, my favorite part of embroidery is just that when something is not quite what you want it to be, you can always change it. You can pull it out if you feel like you need to, or just kind of like use your needle to manipulate it a little bit. Remember, you can just relax and have fun with it. There. So that's creating neat, nice, teeny tiny little bullions. So the other option too, if you want them to be even thicker, like these ones actually look quite thick compared to that. And I'm kind of wondering now if I doubled them. I might have actually doubled them. So actually I'll show you, I can show you that to give you an idea of what that would look like. So if we double our thread, and I just pulled that one to the end there, and I don't plan on keeping this piece, so it's just kind of for show. All right, so from the bottom, okay, now I'm gonna wrap these around and try and keep, I want tension on them, but I don't want them to be so tight that I lose all of my kind of dimension with it. But you also have to make it so that you can pull your needle through. If you've got it too tight there, it gets really tricky to pull your needle through. Oh, there we go. Now that's a little, almost looks like a little worm. Here we go. Cute. So yes, you can double them. So 6 strands doubled gives you quite a lot more dimension there, which, you know what, I prefer that, especially for this style of stitch. You want them to be a little bit more dimensional on your work, so feel free to do that. So last time I'll show you these guys here. So from the tip, or from the base to the tip, back to the base, and then wrap your working thread around your needle a number of times, however many, until you get about the length of your stitch away, and then just holding onto those guys and pulling on your thread there. That one's a little bit messy, but you know what, they're kind of easy to, and I just like to kind of muss them up a little bit before I end up doing my finishing stitches there. All right, so that's the Bullion stitch. I can't wait to see how yours turn out in the Ice Cream Dream piece and in my other pieces to come that will include it. I think it's a really fun way to add a little more dimension to your project. Thanks for watching.